Good morning. I'm Linda, also known as the Immortal Alcoholic's Wife, and welcome to my Sunday chat. The subject of one of my most popular posts is the definition of end-stage alcoholism. And I get a lot of emails from people who describe to me their situation with a loved one who is an alcoholic or that they believe to be an alcoholic. And by the time I get the letter, the situation is so dire that almost always the alcoholic is end stage. It's difficult for me to respond to these letters because I really don't have anything to say to help these people to do what they want to do, which is usually to get the alcoholic to quit drinking, go to rehab, go to detox, or whatever. Most of the time, by the time I get the letter, it's really too late for that. It's hard to tell a sibling or a spouse or a child that their alcoholic is at the point where there really isn't much that can be done. I'm just going to go through the end-stage post and pick a few things out and talk about that. I want to make sure that you understand that most alcoholics don't even get to end stage because they'll have a car accident, they'll get into a fight, something else will happen, they'll get some other underlying disease. They may end up with colon cancer, which is a big cancer for alcoholics, and they never really get to end stage. And so by the time they do, it's really hard for the medical community to know what to do with them except to put them into detox. Well, you can't do that if the alcoholic isn't willing, and 9 times out of 10 they are not willing. To determine whether or not your alcoholic is at end stage, you have to sort some things out. And it's usually easier for a loved one to determine whether an alcoholic is end stage than it is for anybody in the medical community. The medical community has a lot of testing and things that they can do to find out, the life expectancy or how long the liver is going to hold out and all of that. But it's the person who sees the alcoholic day to day who can really tell what's going on with that person. They can see changes in personality. They can see just about everything that you couldn't see under a microscope in a lab. One of the big things that happens is that the alcohol saturates the frontal part of the brain, the frontal lobe, and that's where we control things like common sense and logic. It's the thing that makes us respectful of other people's feelings. It controls our personality. A lot of times I will hear that living with a person's alcoholic is a lot like living with Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. They're wonderful one minute and then the next minute there's somebody else. So that's a big indicator that they're near end stage. An end stage alcoholic will drink anything. If they can't get alcohol, they will drink mouthwash, they will drink cough syrup, vanilla extract is a big one. I had a bottle of Red Door perfume, my favorite perfume, and I couldn't figure out why it was disappearing so quickly because I don't wear it every day. But it was going down at an alarming rate, and then I realized I caught Riley drinking out of my perfume bottle. He wanted the alcohol in the perfume. So that's what happened to my Red Door. End-stage alcoholic often has stomach issues. They will have a bleeding ulcer. It also, the alcohol will harden the portal between the liver that leads to the esophagus, and will end up having an esophageal varices, which is simply a a blowout of the esophagus, and bleeding will be very quick. It's very possible for the alcoholic to bleed out and die very quickly. If you want to know more about some of these terms and things that I'm using, you can find it in the workbook for caretakers of end-stage alcoholics. Let me see, try to get this up here right. And it goes over all of the different medical aspects of alcoholism and gives you like charts. Here's a chart. Charts and things like that, so that you can keep track of what's going on. Let's see now. If you are afraid to leave your alcoholic at home alone, you're looking at an end-stage alcoholic. They lose their sense of adultness. So you can no longer trust them to turn the burners off on the stove or things like that. So if that's what you're dealing with, it's most likely it's an end-stage alcoholic. But that's all well and good. I believe that knowledge is the key to survival. Knowledge is power, and I guess power is the knowledge combined with the power can help you to survive. But you have to use that knowledge to set your mind at ease that you are doing everything you can do to help your alcoholic, because there really isn't that much you can do. In fact, there's nothing you can do. The question becomes, what are you doing for yourself? How are you using that knowledge and power to help yourself to survive? And not just to survive, but you've got to have a real life. You've got to thrive in your own living. So survival means having a life of your own. It's maintaining your own physical, mental, and financial health. It means laughter and the general feeling of contentedness that you can get knowing that you are taking good care of yourself. There's nothing more you can do for the alcoholic. It really is all about you. And wanted to that's about it. I mean, there is no magic formula. Knowing that your alcoholic is end stage really isn't something that's really going to help you. You're just going to go on the way you are until you make a change in your life, and then the alcoholic can go and do what the alcoholic's going to do, and you can still have a life. So that's about it for my little rundown on end-stage alcoholism. I want to let you know that my daughter has decided to join me in my effort to start producing seminars, which will go along with the book tour. And we have a seminar that we're planning that's coming up in March, mid-March. It will be in Williamsburg, Virginia, and we will be selling advance tickets. I'm not exactly sure when they're going on sale, but you just keep watching the blog and you will see them there. We also are thinking about doing one in Smithfield, Virginia. That's a little bit closer to home for me, and we thought maybe that might be a good place to start. So look out for those, and look out for your advance tickets, and you can buy the workbook for caretakers of end-stage alcoholics on Amazon.com, along with Surviving the Chaos, which is the best book I've written for surviving the alcoholism and putting yourself first. So that's it for today, and join me here next Sunday, and I'll have another topic. I don't know what it will be, but we will talk about it then. Bye.